I think it's time to see some cats. Get everybody their stuff together. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's cast.
Hey, Allie. Al. Hi, pretty girl. Hello. Alright. Oh, no, okay. Spoke too soon. Spoke too soon. Very good. Cool. Hello, all you big cat lovers out there. It's me, Derek, again. Welcome to another super duper fantastic episode of the Walker on the Compound webcast. Hi, hello. We just recently fed, maybe like an hour and a half ago. Something like that. So I don't know what sort of reactions we're going to be getting. Hi. There's been enough time elapsed where a lot of kitties should have had enough time to get some chomps in. To get some real good chomps. Quality chomps. I know not everyone is going to have, taken the time. Some are maybe procrastinating on their chomps. Chompastinators. It's like, did you get your chomps done yet? And it's like, girl, you don't have to remind me all the time, Mom. Hi, Vol. You're a good boy. Yeah, you're a good boy. Sweet. We actually had we've had a lot of animals getting dropped off, getting donated just the last few days, which is a thing, which will happen. All right, there we go. There's the first cranky pants. Okay. So, yes. We had 1, 2, 3, generally good-natured, happy kitties, and 1 crinkle nose. I don't think it's going to be the last crinkle nose. I think that there's maybe going to be a couple of crinkle noses. But the final results, who knows? They may shock everyone. Bran? Yeah, crinkle nose. That's fine. We're happy kitties, sleepy kitties, crinkle noses, and then blep tongues. And there was a blep tongue. See, I was setting it up. Fire. I was getting that set up. I was getting it set up to do, and then do like the zoom in, and blep tongues. But then she was already halfway walking over here by the time I was going to get that going. You missed the production cue. It's okay. We didn't really go over that a lot in rehearsal, so it's not really it's not your fault. These things happen. We have Kiara. Oh. funny. Heidi and I were feeding, and Poopy, Mr. Stanks, he was following us in the tractor, and like, because he's got no problem. He has zero problem just going anywhere in the compound. Now our other dogs, which they're bigger, tougher, stronger, faster, brave, like, you know, like they're forces of nature dogs. The German Shepherd and Great Pyrenees. Gibson has a lot of like social anxiety, and he's okay with going in the compound, but it's not like, he does need sometimes a little bit of convincing. Bubbles will go and hang out with Noe. He loves Noe, which is weird. Like, Bubbles loves Noe, but is terrified of every other cat in this compound. Like, he wants to be friends with Noe. He wants to hang out with Noe. He loves Noe. He thinks that she's so cool. He wants to bark at her and play with her and chase her and like give her smooches through the fence. But oh my gosh, if any other cat looks at him, like, stranger danger, stranger danger. Like, he's terrified. Poopy, our, you know, arthritic, like, got bad knees, and you know, like, he had a reconstructed ACL sausage dog. He doesn't faze him. Munchie being like that, he would just walk right by, just and just. That's, yeah. that's what he. Okay. But yeah, Poopy would be unfazed. And but he was walking along with us as we were, you know, feeding cats. And I'll tell you some of the other funny stuff he was doing. But when we fed Kiara, we gave her 2 chunks. So when, you have to understand, like, most people, like, they get, but it's like, okay, there's legs, there's necks, there's heads, there's shoulders, and there's chunks. There's bodies, of course. Now, sometimes like, hey, we'll feed the butts. Okay, all of these things are legit. Like, these are legit terms, like operational feeding terms that mean different things. Of course, there's like front legs and back legs, which again, there's different pieces of meat that are useful, that are preferred by certain cats, but it's also, it's definitely, it's a situation dependent, case by case dependent, because you're talking about, you know, like, varying different cows and horses of different sizes, different types, different ages, different, you know, like, they're, yeah. So you might have, so like the front leg of a calf might be something that is good for, you know, Ruby. But the front leg of a Clydesdale might be something that's good for Boomer. You know what I mean? It's like, just so you're saying, like, oh, well, hey, which cat's like which? Again, it's complicated. It's complicated. But we were feeding a lot of chunks. Which, generally speaking, chunks, as the name would imply, they don't have bone. So it's like, it's usually just hide. Okay, so like the fabric, skin, and then the meat. Most of the time it comes from the back of the back leg. Back of the back leg. Oh, go pack go. Go pack go. Go pack go. Go pack go. So, okay, so the front legs, basically from the elbow to the end. Elbow, that's like a front leg. Shoulder is from the elbow to the shoulder. Elbow to the shoulder. That's That's the shoulder. Which usually just has, it's like a big part of the, like, because you have to realize, cow and horses, it's different than like us. It's their scapula, the scapula, yeah, all of that. It's a whole different thing. And then the back legs, we'll cut through the joint on the front legs, but we don't do it for the back legs. It makes less sense. What we'll do with the back legs is so then you'll have the bottom part, and then the top part is all one thing, but then you'll cut most of like the back of like the thigh, and then the butt. So back, the thigh, butt, that gets cut off, and then it leaves all the rest of this, and then this, because this ensures, the way that we do this, it ensures an equitable distribution of meat and meat to bone. And whenever you get like a horse or a cow, if you cut it up in this way, it's like, okay, I'm getting pieces that are roughly similar, and I'm able to then widely distribute all of the bits and pieces to the kitties. That's how that works. We fed a lot of chunks today. Just one of the reasons being is that chunks, of course, very cute. Chunks are just a little bit easier. They're a little bit easier to just kind of keep things around the facility looking tidy. Maintenance. We gave Munchie a bunch of chunks, because then there's the other thing. Okay, so one of the things is Munchie will be like that, and he'll be hoarding over his food while he has it. He's going to keep eating those chunks until there's nothing left. And with chunks, they'll eat until there's just nothing left, because there's not a lot of bone. But if you have legs, I mean, the cats, even the tigers and the lions, they can't eat through, like really hard bones. They don't eat the hooves. They don't eat the big heavy bones. They'll eat the end of the bones. Like, they'll eat softer bone tissue. A lot of times, like the rib, like certain parts of the ribs, the ends of the bones, like where the joints are, definitely. Skull is a lot thinner. They'll eat through that. But once he eats all of his chunks and there's no more chunks left, then it's like a magic spell will get like waved over that enclosure, where it's just like, okay, you don't have to be a jerk anymore. And then he'll be like, hey, he'll be agreeable quickly. Look at that tail. Hey, Prin. Now, if you had a leg, back leg, which Munchie a lot of times will get back legs, because usually they have like a lot of meat on them usually. I guess I shouldn't also say, like, okay, maybe equitable distribution doesn't necessarily mean that every single piece is going to have the exact same amount of meat. It means more like, hey, we're able to like appropriately allocate, because back legs oftentimes are going to have like, they're more, so like maybe a boomer or a Slater are going to get a back leg, but then maybe like a princess is going to get something like a shoulder or a front leg a lot of times. But it helps us to appropriately partition so that bigger kitties are getting the right amount and medium and small kitties are getting the right amount. So then, okay, let's say you give Munch a leg, and let's say he eats all the meat, which he does, and he will. Hi, boys. Hi, boys. Hi. Hello. 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 Goodness. Yeah. Good golly, Mr. Molly. So, Munch will eat all of the meat. Whoa. What happened? Did someone hear a shot? Oh my gosh. Someone's using a silencer. But he eats all the meat off of the leg. All the meg. He'll eat all the meat off the leg. And he has the bone. Which is still like meat adjacent. And he can't eat the bone, but he has the bone. It'll give him, that's enough of an excuse to just be a jerk. Just be like, get away from my bone. I'm like, you're not even eating that. It's my bone though. Get away from it. I've seen it time and time again. There's a couple of times you were just like, you're not gonna even acknowledge? Do you even see me? Do I exist? Mika, where are you going? Mika, come here. Oh, you're gonna put me on the, well, I guess I deserve it. You're gonna put me on the pay no mind list. Yep. I did that to myself. I did it to myself. Hi. Mika, what you doing? Hey, baby. Good girl. Good girl. But sometimes what you'll do is like, there's little tricks. So let's say that you have cats that are a little bit more difficult to lock up. Like Ron Zoobs. Ron Zoobs are actually very, very finicky, very picky. A lot of times, the only people, like, you have to have at least like well, Heidi definitely is your best bet, but then I can also get them locked up if needs be. But it's got to be, it's like a team effort. It's a big thing. It's a production, and it's not a guarantee to work. There's weird, there's like a lot, there's stuff that you got to do. One person goes over here, the other person has to hide in this kind of thing over here, and then you got to trick. It's a thing. So sometimes it's like, all right, well, like, we don't know when we're gonna actually get them locked up. Let's give them chunks, so they just don't have a bunch of bones just inside of their enclosures. That can be like one of those little kind of like a life hack, a care hack, if you will. And a choo-choo hack is a choo-choo hack. Yeah, choo-choo hack. You doing some choo-choo hacks? Num 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 choo-choo hack. And choo-choo hack. And choo-choo hack. Yeah, he's a good boy. Doing choo-choo hacks. Are you doing choo-choo hacks? Yeah. Oh my gosh. You are too cute. You know that? Just too cute. K-Y-O-O-T. K-Y-O-O-T. Slade, I'm not trying to steal your food, bud. I was hoping. No, but Slade, come over here. Slade, just come over here. Slade, come here. Oh, yeah. He remembered. See, chunk. Chunk. It was a chunk. You were just being so nice. Do you see how quickly, that's the thing. Do you see how quickly that happens? Do you see how quickly we go from Choo-Choo, sweetheart, to that? That's how fast it happens. Yeah, Slade's not going to give us that. He's not going to give us the courtesy of the first part. He ain't going to give us the courtesy of that first part. Hi, Mr. Potato. I love you. Hi. Hi, mister. Hi. But you can still see Ezra like way in the back, like flapping his chunk around. He's licking it. Slade has a full. Okay, we actually like one. There was a one of the horse. I think it was horse. Yeah, it was horse. A horse body, and it was an elderly horse. So like usually multi-cat enclosures are gonna get horse bodies. There's a lot of meat. There's a lot of stuff on the ribs and a lot of stuff on the back strap. That's right. A lot of stuff, Slade. Good boy. And then you got the butt, which is like I refer to the butt as the stuff basically below the rib cage. Anything from rib cage down. So that's like, so you have bottom of the rib cage to the whole hip, all the hip and pelvis is the butt, which there's a lot of meat down there. There's a lot of muscle. And sometimes you'll have like a larger kind of body where actually you can cut all around the abdominal portion, and then you take an axe and then you chop the spine, so that actually separates like the rib. So there's the rib portion and then there's the butt portion, and then you can further distribute meat. Again, care hacks. One of the horses, it was just an old, broke down, had bad legs, elderly horse that was needing to be put down. So then Slade ended up actually getting the entire body, because when they're old, a lot of times like people will bring us old horses, their musculature is gone, or is not what it used to be. They're a lot skinnier, So that's why. Boomer. But we gave Slade a body, horse body, put it right there, locked him up, drove the tractor into the enclosure, dumped the body, and then locked the doors back up. Got the tractor out, locked the doors up. And then Slade went over and he's like, oh my gosh, this is great. Grabbed the body with his teeth, like picked it up and just like walked it over to his house, and then and like pulled it into that little box right there. Yep. Hi. Oh, anyway, Mr. Shanks, Poopy. I brought it up. I brought him up around Kiara because as we were feeding, and he was walking behind us. And this is something I normally don't ever see. Usually it's the opposite direction. Usually cats are really interested in Poopy, but he was like just next to the fence. He wasn't like looking at Kiara. He was just next to the fence. So like her meat just like drops down. She runs up to get it, and then Poopy's right there, and then Kiara was just like, yeah. Just like, get out of here. Get out of here, you stinky old dog. And Poopy was like, and Poopy was, again, unfazed. And he just got up to like walk and follow the tractor. Yeah, but she actually was kind of yelling at him a little bit. Which usually they're just like, oh my gosh, I want to eat that dog. It's usually how the cats will oftentimes. They either kind of don't pay him much mind or they want to eat him. And then the other stuff that he was doing, every single time that we had an enclosure that we had to like lock the cats up, completely lock them up, which we had a few. Like Boomer actually is another cat that got a full body. Boomer got a full body as well. It was actually an old cow. So Slade got an old horse. Boomer got an old, like I said, we got a bunch. We had a bunch of stuff get donated like this last week and just the last few days. So enough to like go around, like really kind of like spread the love. Spread the meaty love. That might, look at that. Perfect title. Right? They write themselves sometimes. So every single time that we had to lock up an enclosure, or lock a cat into the lockdown and then actually like drive into the enclosure, we had to like swing open the gates. Poopy would just kind of like, he would just like walk right in. He would just walk right in. We're like, dude, we're just coming in here to just like drop some meat. We're going to be feeding some tigers, dude. And then like, so like we came in, Poopy just went in front of the swing and just sat down, just laid there. And like we got everything all loaded up. We're about ready to let Slade down, and we're just like, "What are you doing?" And he's just like, "I'm just taking a break." I'm like, "Not here! No, like, come on, get out of here! Get out of here!" So, Mr. Stinks. He's just, he's supervising. He's helping. He's helping. Anyway. Thanks for watching this episode of the Walk Around the Compound webcast. Hashtag Dorbest Award in the comment section below. Like and subscribe for all of your big cat goodness. And if you want to learn more about the facility around me, you can always visit the website carerescuetexas.com for more information. You keep them tigers fed. Big shout out to the extra fancy patrons. I see you. You are so fancy. And thank you so much for your continued support. And we'll see you next time. All right. Bye-bye.
Like and subscribe for more Big Cat content.